Hi friends, welcome to this video. So this is the important question. It has asked in several competitive exams, right? So here they have given 1, 2, 3, right? They have given this graph 1, 2, 3. They have mentioned it, and they have told that it is isothermal respective at temperature T1, T2, T3, right? So it is at T1 and this is at T2 and this is at 3. So temperature they have meant constant, and they have plotted the graph for that is pressure versus what value, and we have to tell whether T1 is equal to T2 or T2, which option is true, right? Or T1 is smaller than T2, T2 is smaller than T3. These things we have to tell it, right? So before talking about this comes under what? Gaseous state, right? There we will see some laws like pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Which law is this? This is Boyles law. Volume is directly proportional to temperature, that is Charles law. Here I have not mentioned. Here pressure is inversely proportional to volume for given number of moles and at that constant temperature. So these things will be constant here in Boyle's law. Whereas in Charles law, volume is directly proportional to temperature, no doubt, at constant pressure and at constant what? Number of molecules. Right. And the third one, that is Gaseous law, tells that the pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So this is what Gaseous law for the given constant volume, that given volume and given number of moles. And the last Avogadro's law tells that for number of molecules is directly proportional to the volume. Right. So this is told by Avogadro's law. He tells that at constant pressure, temperature, right? So these things, if they are constant, then only number of moles are directly proportional to at volume. If you want in detail, we can talk about this at later, right? So if we know these things, we can easily tell whether T1, T2, T3 are greater or not, right? So this is pressure versus volume they have plotted. So this is nothing but this Boyle's law only, right? So graphs comes like this. So as pressure, see here, as volume increases, pressure must decrease. So initially when volume is low, pressure will be increasing like this, right? Pressure will be increasing like this above, whereas volume will be increasing like this along the x-axis, right? Here I have taken it along x-axis and this is y-axis, right? So if I plot, see, initially when volume is less, here it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, right? Volume is less, pressure should be high. Yes, pressure is more. As volume increases, pressure keeps on decreasing. So this is the graph will get at temperature what? T3. This is the graph we will get at temperature what? T3, right? So this is the graph. So I will maintain other one more constant temperature. Let me talk it as T2. No, sorry, let me take it at T2. So here initially as volume will be low, pressure will be this much. Later on as volume increases, pressure keeps on decreasing, and we will get a graph like this, right? And again at temperature T1, if I plot, again we will get a graph like this, right? So we have to tell whether T1 is greater than T2, T2 is greater than T3, or both are equal, or 3 are equal, or everything like, right? But we know that at constant volume, let me make this constant. Say let us assume that this is 5 atmosphere. At this constant volume, let me draw a line. So what is this? Here volume is constant. Let us assume that 5 atmosphere, right? So here I have drawn a constant volume line, right? So this is the thing. Let me change the color of the pen. So here this is constant volume, right? And here if we compare, this is T1 is equal to this one P1, this T2 is equal to what? P2, and this T3 is equal to what? P3. And we know that from this Avogadro's law, pressure is directly proportional to temperature, right? If pressure is more, temperature will also be more. If pressure is less, temperature will also be less. So from here we know that here P3 means less less pressure. Above, as we go above, pressure increases, so P2 will be more, P1 will be more. So what I mean to say, P1 pressure is greater than what? P2 pressure. P2 pressure is greater than what? P3 pressure. So we know that pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So what? T1 should be greater than T2. T2 should be greater than what? T3. So the given option, let us tell that. So T1 is greater than T2, T2 is greater than T3. So this is the correct option, whereas other options are wrong options. So this is one of the important question. So for this class, that is what Boyle's law have plotted this graph, right? So for Charles law and all these things, you have to make it practice, because these are things asked simultaneously in so many computer games. Thank you.